Welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan, is pissed. Take a look at the clip.
I have so many questions. First of all, if they're shouting and helping these people get away with bullhorns, how is that legal to get help from the people in the streets? I know they can protest, but that's not what they're doing.
You're exactly right. When they come to they cross the line of impediment, and that's why I'm working very close, starting this morning with Department of Justice, and where do they cross that line of impediment? So they may find themselves in a pair of handcuffs very soon. So working with DOJ on that, get some legal guidance on that. I'm not an attorney. I know what SecOps is about. I know what crossing that line is, but getting DOJ back up on that. So it's something we're looking at right now, Harris. We're not going to tolerate it anymore. This is not a game. When we show up these sites, this is a dangerous job for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol and all the DOJ agencies. To have that type of interference puts our officers at great risk. Not only the officers, it puts the aliens at great risk because anything can happen when we take our eyes off the goal here. So we're addressing that immediately today. I'm addressing OPSEC today, operational security, how these leaks are happening. We've already identified how this operation got leaked. I'll deal with that today. So
I don't know what these people are thinking. Like, who does that? Who is going to, tip off a gang like the Tren De Aragua gang? It's these people have gotten so crazy. The TDS is just so insane these days where they would rather harbor a gang and help out a gang that would pretty much prefer to, kill you, rob you, rape you. But just because Trump wants to deport them, these TDS people tip them off to the ICE raid. And these gangs have been terrorizing the city. Everybody's heard about the Aurora, Colorado apartment complexes that were taken over. Homan's trying to go in there and clean that up. And these morons got to go out there and tip off the gang members like they're some sort of righteous people. It's pretty sickening that we're dealing with those types of people in America. People that just hate America so much. I don't even know if they hate America. They just basically hate Trump. And now that Trump has such a savage, this Tom Homan guy, total savage. I mean, I feel like he's Trump's #1 draft pick because he's the perfect man for the job. It's either Elon or Homan, but I'm going Homan. But yeah, I mean, if I were Homan, I'd be pissed, and I'd be going completely after every last person who tried to harbor these criminal gang members. Like, God, jeez, the people in the city who, want the criminals gone, they must be pissed. But all right, next topic. CNN basically proves that nobody in America wants men competing in women's sports. Here's the clip.
I think these numbers are really illuminating on this topic because I just think there's such a clear trend among the American public. So transgender female athletes in women's sports, only 18% of the country says that they should be, in fact, allowed to participate in women's sports. Compare this to the opposition. I mean, my goodness gracious, 79%. You rarely get 79% of the country to agree on anything, but they do, in fact, agree on the idea of opposing transgender female athletes in women's sports. But it's not just the here and now, Laura. It's not just the here and now. What we're actually seeing is a trend on this particular issue, and it's going in the direction of opposition. So take a look here. Okay, transgendered female athletes, and amongst those Americans who oppose them in women's sports, back in 2021, it was 62%. A majority, but, not anywhere close to a ginormous majority, right? A clear majority, but not a ginormous majority. But then again, you look here in 2025, you see it at 79%. So it's not just that the majority of Americans are opposed to transgender female athletes in women's sports. It's that the opposition has become considerably larger in just the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, that just pretty much solidifies what everybody already knew. I don't even know if that, last 8% is real people. It might just be bots, because there was a lot of bots on Twitter creating a schism between all the people. And I don't know. It's just crazy to think that there was actually some sort of narrative. Now it just seems like this whole USAID situation was funding all the Democrat, psyops of, oh, we love trans people, all this stuff. The USAID situation was sickening what's going on. But yeah, it just shows that, listen, America ain't having any of the trans thing anymore. That's just completely over. If you want to go pretend to be trans or, live your life and do what you do, fine. That's great. But we're not going to protect you as far as your pronouns or forcing anybody to, call you whatever or pretend that you're a woman. It just ain't happening anymore. And people in business, these companies need to realize, we're not even going to pretend to tell people they have to use pronouns. It's over, dude. It's over. Like I said, that is a perfect representation of the whole trans thing in a nutshell, Nobody thinks they should play in men's or women's sports, and nobody wants to be bothered by the whole trans movement and forced into accepting it. But all right, next topic. Google is ending its DEI hiring practices. It's just another win for Trump and common sense. What can you say? It's the Google CEO, that Sundar Pichai guy. I know he was at Trump's inauguration, so he's definitely bending the knee to Trump. I don't know if he was really in cahoots with Trump before. I doubt it, because obviously it's Google. Now we just need to get Google to streamline YouTube so you could basically go full free speech on YouTube and talk about anything, and you're not going to get shadow banned or demonetized. It's just time, right? It's just time. America, we're not doing any sort of fake stuff anymore where, oh, you can't say that. Can't say that. Now, Google needs to totally just revamp YouTube to just be a free speech platform like X. All social media needs to be like X, where you say something and the court of public opinion will decide if it's okay or not. That's how life works, folks. The court of public opinion dictates what happens. Not putting regulations and, you can't do this, it's in our terms of service, that you can't talk about, trans people or whatever. We're done with that. We're done. And Google and YouTube need to figure it out and get it streamlined. We're going the X route, baby. All social media, just free speech havens. But all right, next topic. Will Ferrell was snubbed by the Academy for an Oscar nomination. Here's the clip.
Ask me if we got Oscar nominated.
Did you? I'm just curious. That's such a good documentary. It's one of the best documentaries I've seen in years. It was beautiful. It was timely. It was heartfelt. I was inspired by it. Tell me, how was the Oscar nomination?
We didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, those guys,
I
right?
know. Yeah, thank you.
The Academy.
Well,
say it.
Especially the doc branch. Yeah.
The doc.
The doc branch of
Totally
the Academy.
Totally different guys?
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't want to hang out with the doc branch. What a bunch of losers.
A few
In
weeks
fact,
ago.
I hope there's some of them here tonight. Hey, if you're a member of the doc branch, suck it.
All right, so I guess Will Ferrell had some documentary about his trans friend. I'll put the overview up here just so you can see the quick overview description. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of hilarious because isn't this the left eating the left again? The guy made a trans documentary, right? His friend is going trans. Obviously, Hollywood, it was bound to happen. But isn't it just hilarious? Because a couple years ago, we all remembered when the Academy came out and said, you basically aren't eligible to get an Academy Award nomination if your movie doesn't have this many, black people, this many disabled people, and a couple extra trans people. So I think Will Ferrell kind of saw the way Hollywood was going and was like, oh, this is going to be my only way to get myself an Oscar. I'm going to make this trans documentary, and they won't even be able to not give me the award because there will be such an outrage that my trans documentary, Will Ferrell's trans documentary, didn't get the Oscar. And guess what? Now he didn't even get the nomination. I mean, what is going on there? Can somebody explain it? To me, it makes no sense because maybe Hollywood is shifting due to the Trump era. But to me, it's just, what did Will Ferrell do? Hollywood, what did he do? He was out there saying we need a woman president for Kamala. And now this. The guy was betrayed. Frankly, I don't care. I doubt you care either because nobody cares about these awards anymore. But yeah, it's good to see if Hollywood is actually turning it around and, going back to, we just want great movies, right? We want great movies. But all right, that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time. Later.